months too late, bro.
Huh?
You're like 2 months too late.
It's like 3 weeks. It's like 3 weeks. And I got it for half.
Say yes or no. What are all these? So here you go. It's like machine. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's the fucking humidifier. Exactly. You know, they got. Yeah. Do you want to do this? Yeah. Oh, perfect. Oh no, not the actual poster that I think.
On March 2nd, the Octagon returns to T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for UFC 235.
Man, is it good to be back in the fight capital of the world.
This is a massive, massive event.
2 titles will be on the line in one of the most stacked cards of the year.
This kid's a special talent.
4-0 in the UFC.
He does everything great.
Davis Helps. Zabit Magomed Sharipov. Oh, Jeremy Stevens trying to close the show.
You cannot break me. I am unbreakable, baby.
Jeremy Stevens, shut the lights out.
When that door closes, I'm one punch away from turning his lights off.
Oh, he's hurt. Big knockout for Cody. I'm going to break your jaw.
Cody Garbrandt, nothing short of spectacular.
Body kick from Munoz.
He has a very high finishing rate. Pedro Munoz.
There is the undefeated Ben Askren.
I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna throw you on the ground. I'm gonna punch you until the ref says, quit that, you're hurting this man.
I'm ready to kick the whole division.
Oh! Vicious attack by Lawyler.
Really, I just want to go out there and beat you up.
I come to fight. No matter what happens, I keep coming. And it's time to knock people out. Weili Zhang, unbeaten since her pro debut.
She's won 18 fights in a row. What a victory for Weili.
The tiny tornado, Tisha Torres. This is a fast, explosive striker.
Rear naked choke locked in, and it's over. Tisha Torres.
I'm the most dominant welterweight on the planet. Nobody can stop me.
I'm the best welterweight that's ever gonna fight in the octagon, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna show him. I break each and every one of my opponents, and I will break him as well.
Oh, Kamaru Usman.
I will be the world champion.
Oh, he's hurt.
This belt ain't going anywhere until I get done fighting.
Tyron Woodley's landing bombs.
Woodley remains the welterweight champ.
I have a lot of goals in this sport. The biggest one is just to be remembered as the greatest of all time.
I'm confident and I don't have any doubt in my mind that I'm going to walk out of there with a win. Anthony Smith is going to be the champion of the 205-pound division.
Oh, big kick from Lionheart. Oh, drops him with the elbow.
I have every intention of walking out of there with my hand raised and with another finish.
Anthony Smith continues his rise to the top.
This is all or nothing for Jon Jones. This is everything.
I'm here to stay. I believe that this is my era.
Jon Jones has regained the throne.
And I'm going to own it for many years to come.
One of the greatest of all time.
What a night, ladies and gentlemen.
This is going to be amazing.
Oh! What a night.
Welcome to the UFC 235 press conference from the David Copperfield Theater inside MGM Grand from Las Vegas, Nevada. March 2nd, it's a can't-miss pay-per-view event with a loaded show from top to bottom, including a bantamweight clash between two of the division's best. First to the stage, winner of 6 of his last 7 fights, Pedro, the Young Punisher, Munoz. And his opponent, the former UFC bantamweight champion of the world, Cody No Love Garbrandt. Moving on at welterweight, It's a clash of styles between two of the world's best 170-pounders. Making his much-anticipated UFC debut, 2008 Olympian, Funky Ben Askren. Askren faces one of the most decorated fighters in UFC history. One of the game's greatest warriors, former 170 title holder, Robbie Lawyler. Moving on to the co-headliner. The UFC Welterweight Championship bout is a collision between two unstoppable forces. Welcome, the Nigerian Nightmare, undefeated in the UFC, riding a 13-fight win streak, and coming off the biggest win of his career in November. Here is Kamaru Usman. Usman looks to dethrone one of the greatest 170-pound champions of all time. Unbeaten in his last 7 fights, looking to make the 5th defense of his welterweight title. To the main UFC Light Heavyweight Championship bout between the Cinderella story and the greatest force in the sport. A veteran of over 40 fights who turned in a 2018 to remember. After moving up to 205 pounds, he rattled off 3 straight wins, all finishes. And on March 2nd, he can make history. This is Anthony Lionheart Smith. For his rocky moment to become a reality, Smith will have to defeat the most decorated light heavyweight champion of all time. One of the best fighters in UFC history, the new 205-pound champion, Jon Jones.
What's up, everybody? How are you? Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. Who has the first question?
Start with Jon, please. Jon, we got to speak with you briefly at the NSAC meeting on Tuesday. I just want to ask you, now that you've had a couple days to think about it, how comfortable are you with the resolution, and how happy are you with what got done, you know, the 1-fight license, and knowing that you'll be tested the rest of the year? How happy are you with it right now?
First, I want to thank everybody who made it out, all the fans in Las Vegas. Thank you guys so much. It's good to see you all. I'm very excited for UFC 235. I'm a little underwater today, so excuse me if I seem off my game. I'm very sick, actually. I'm excited that the whole thing's over. It was a 4-hour hearing. I learned a lot about what's happening in my body. It's good to know that I'm not the only athlete going through this. It's definitely the most high-profile case in the country right now. But you know, the biggest things is, you know, and I want to drive that home every time, that you know, these picograms give me no performance-enhancing benefits. I have USADA, VADA, and Nevada, all 3 drug testing me for the remainder of this year, that's a lot of needles. But I have no problem being in this position. I think through all the testing, I'll be vindicated, and we'll all be educated. So. Great.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, Jon. I mean, if you do make it through this entire year tested that frequently, and do you feel that at that point the questions have to stop, that people have to stop asking you, are you a cheater, have you been doing something wrong?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think I think, you know, me opening myself to being tested by 3 different agencies, it shows that I have nothing to hide. You know, USADA and VADA have been around for so long. They work with so many extremely successful athletes, guys who are a lot more influential than I am, guys who, they've worked with the who's who's, you know, and they're very credible. And I feel like them giving me my license shows that I am innocent and that this doesn't help my performance at all. And yeah, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for everything to be out in the open and accessible for everybody to see.
Thanks, Jon. Thank you. Anthony, I want to ask you, confidence has never been an issue with you, but you can't take away what Jon has accomplished as a fighter. But I wonder, as you prepare this fight, back at his fights and
you know, I think that every match, I don't think that you're ever going to fight 2 separate people and see the same thing. But I think that, especially with the, I'm not just about it and surprised. I know exactly.
Of course, I wonder what right now. I mean, here you are, a guy that couldn't get to the UFC, that, you know, Dana had some negative things to say about. Now you're sitting on this panel full of superstars in your first appearance. So what's going through your head right now?
I'm just going to enjoy the moment. It's great to be here. Finally got this opportunity to prove how good I am at mixed martial arts, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to enjoy it the whole way.
You have always been an outspoken guy online. You've had some interactions on social media with guys. There's a lot of welterweights on the table right now. Yeah. I wonder what it's been like backstage while you've been in town. Have there been any interactions?
Marty tried attacking me 20 minutes ago. Listen, I knew this dude. We trained together at the Olympic Training Center. He was Marty then. I didn't even come at him when I got to UFC because I liked him. I thought he was a good dude. Listen, the opportunity came up at UFC 233. Tyron was hurt. I can't say this is a fact. He could tell you if it's a fact. I don't know if it's a fact. Colby and Marty were supposed to fight each other. Colby got scared. He's kind of a little bitch. Pardon my language. And so I said, listen, this is an opportunity. I'm here to fight the best guys. He's pretty damn good at fighting. So let's get in there for the title. And so obviously, I put the full weight of what I could behind him. Obviously, he doesn't like his old name. But that was what he went by. And so I don't know what his issue is with it. I wasn't even really trying to insult him. That was just how I knew the man. And I wanted to get in the cage and fight him. So I was trying to make the most of my opportunity. He clearly took offense to it. Maybe he could tell us why he took offense to it. And, you know, if something comes up after Tyron and Marty fight, then I'd be willing to fight him in the future.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, we get in the cage. I think he's confused what we do. Like, we're not playing basketball, wrestling. We get in the cage and we fight each other. So threatening me backstage, like, that was what I volunteered for. I volunteered for that.
Thanks, Ben. Dana, I just want to ask one quick one outside of this card. The NSAC meeting was huge. I wanted to ask if you had spoken with Habib or his team yet. Maybe a 6-month suspension, maybe a 9-month suspension. We heard that he says he wants to wait the full year until his, you know, teammates are able to compete again. How soon do you think we can see Habib back in the cage? And is it possible that would happen here in Nevada? Because it sounds like he's saying maybe that he doesn't want that either.
Right. Yeah. No, I haven't talked to them yet. Yeah, we'll get it figured out.
If that 165 becomes available, you know, America-Russia is always a great storyline. It always is. From like since the Cold War. America and Russia. Think about that. Think about how it sells. Think about that.
165, 165 isn't happening.
By that point, we're going to have 20-0 Ben Askren versus 27-0 Khabib. Someone's O's got to go. America versus Russia. I will get on his back and I will chant USA.
Hi, Dana. Just to piggyback off the back of that, you said you hadn't spoken to Khabib or his team. Have you spoken to McGregor or any of McGregor's team?
Have we talked to McGregor?
Yeah.
We've started to talk to McGregor. He's got less of a suspension, yeah.
Okay, so it's possible that he could be eligible in April. Is that a date against maybe Cowboys?
No, he wouldn't fight in April.
What sort of time frame are you looking at?
I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out.
All right, fair enough.
Yep.
And for Robbie Lawyler, you're introducing Ben Askren to the UFC. A lot's been made about his wrestling ability, but also about perhaps the quality of opponents he's had outside of the UFC. What do you think of Ben Askren's fighting abilities and also about the opponents he's faced already?
Obviously, he's fought all over the world, wrestled all over the world. He's a competitor. He figures out a way to win. So I got to go out there and get after him. My wrestling's all right. I train with pretty good wrestlers, get my body ready. My coaches are doing a great job with me, and my striking is getting better. So just got to go out there and get in his face and put some hands on him.
And the last one for me for Tyron. Obviously, for a long time there, it looked like it was going to be you versus Colby. It's now against Kamaru Usman. Are you still disappointed you're not fighting Covington, or is it the focus entirely switched on to Kamaru?
Definitely the focus is on Usman. You know, you can't have an opponent that's worthy to fight. You're thinking about somebody else. You know, everybody got to get it at some point. They just shifted the order.
Thank you very much, guys.
Jon, a question for you. You're essentially undefeated in your career, and I wonder, do you feel like you're still ascending, or have you plateaued? Like, do you feel like you can get better than you have been to this point in your career?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like right now I'm at my absolute best. You know, fighting against Gustafsson just a few weeks ago, and being able to piggyback off of that win and go into another camp. You know, starting camp already in shape. Coaches, the vibe amongst the team already strong. I feel great. You know, we're doing a lot of boxing, and I have a new boxing coach. You know, we're starting to work. You know, boxing southpaw. You know, I feel like when I go southpaw, everybody knows the kick's coming. So now I'm trying to get my hands better from the southpaw position. I'm doing a lot of jiu-jitsu, and I'm just realizing how much I don't know still about this sport. I'm really excited about how much I'm learning still. My maturity has grown tremendously. So where before in between fights I'd be the biggest party animal, now I'm, you know, in the gym while partying a lot, and so it works. It works. Yeah, I feel like my best performance will be this next one for sure. Hey, I see it. Love the energy, guys. Love the energy.
And just to follow up to that, Jon, you know, you think of the great fighters in UFC history, and, you know, Anderson Silva had that long run, but it seems like 6 or 7 years is the most somebody can sustain it. A, why do you think that is, that people don't have that ability to sustain so long? And B, is it kind of wearing down your body having all those fights, and is that part of it?
Well, with me, like I said before, I wouldn't really train in between fights. So where I'm a veteran, I feel very young in the game still, you know, I've been lucky to have never been knocked out, never been dropped in practice. You know, so I believe that my brain is extremely healthy. I feel like you can only take so many punches in your career, and I've never really taken any really big shots from anyone. So that helps. And then, you know, I have this, you know, I'm a Christian, and I really believe that God has blessed me to be in this position. And I feel like when you're backed by the Father, you know, and if He tells you something's for you, then I believe it's for you. And I believe that God has anointed me to be a great fighter. And if you believe that, genuinely believe that, then you should have nothing to fear.
A question for Anthony. You've kind of turned your career around since your move up to light heavyweight. Confidence-wise, though, it's a different thing facing Jon Jones than it is facing anybody else. How do you, in light of, you're going to hear over the next month, you know, how he's the greatest fighter of all time, and the odds are probably going to be massively against you. How do you maintain your confidence and belief in yourself when every day you're going to be hearing people doubting you and questioning you?
Jesus Christ, you're going to talk the whole fucking time? God damn, shut up. You know, I've been doubted my entire career. I'm a small town kid from Nebraska. Like, I'm not supposed to be here anyways. So what we do is we strip the name and the face away from the person, and we just attack the problems. And that's what we do. You know, we know what's in front of us. We know what Jon brings to the table. There's plenty of footage out there, and you know, that's how I attack it. I just don't make that big of a deal of it. You know, to me, it's another fight, and I've been chasing this dream to be a world champion for a long time. There's been its ups and downs, and you know, no one's ever counted on me to win. You know, that's just not how my career's gone, and And that's what we're doing, man. That's what we're doing. We're attacking the problems, and I'm taking the name and the face away from it, and that's what we're going to do.
Thank you. And Tyron, the last question I have is for you. You always have a lot of stuff going on in your life, and it seems like sometimes it bothers the boss when you maybe can't step up to fight. What have you been doing? Do you have any projects, movies, or songs, or anything coming out? And how have they impacted in terms of your fight career, being available to fight when the boss wants you to fight?
You know, there's nothing that I do outside of Octagon that's ever stopped me from being able to fight. There's been times where, you know, I fight somebody and you're in a violent sport. You know, when I'm out there, I'm trying to knock your head off. And if it breaks my hand or tear my labrum, or if I break my foot, it's been situations in the last 3 or 4 fights that within those fights I succumbed to injury in most fights in the first round, and I had to go out there and still find a way to win. And 3 of those injuries that happened in my last 12 fights required surgery. So surgery and being out and rehabbing is what kept me from fighting earlier than what I've liked to. It's never been me doing a movie or doing an album or doing television, doing anything like that. When I get in training camp, it's training camp. It's time to fight. It's time to focus in to zero. And it's been many movies and opportunities that I've had that I've turned down due to training camp. So I think that's kind of a misunderstanding that I would allow something in entertainment outside of fighting to stop me from taking a fight. That's something that would never happen.
Hey, Jon, welcome back. Obviously, Tuesday was very nerve-wracking for everyone, I think. And what was going through your mind, you know, the possibility, how stressful is that, the possibility that the commission might have gone the other way with their decision?
It was pretty stressful. You know, going into the meeting, I had a briefing meeting with my lawyer, and he said, Jon, I am certain that you're getting your license back. Don't worry, stay calm, cool, collected. And I was initially. And around the 3-hour mark, I started to get a little nervous. I was like, you know, I started to get a little nervous. I thought that it was a possibility that I wouldn't get the license, but it all worked out. I got the license, and like I said, you know, Nevada and these companies, you know, USADA, VADA, are such powerful companies, and they have so much resource. And if I was a guilty athlete, or if I had, you know, something that was giving me a performance enhancing benefits, you know, I just simply wouldn't be here. That, you know, I feel like a lot of people say, oh, because you're Jon, you know, you're getting this special treatment and all this shit. And it's like, it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of lawyers and all this stuff. And a lot of scientists, the best scientists in the world, looking into my blood. And they've come to the conclusion that there's a fair fight happening. And so I'm just grateful to be here with my license.
Thanks. For Mr. White, was there a contingency in place had the commission gone the other way for the headliner?
No.
No?
No.
No contingency?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Robbie, how do you feel about welcoming Ben Askren to the UFC? He comes in here with highly touted and, you know, with a lot of accomplishments on his record. So how do you feel to be the guy that's going to welcome him to the octagon?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. It's been a long layoff for me. Got back from my ACL surgery. It was a perfect fight for me to come back. Really, I've just been concentrating on myself, making sure I'm the best I could be, and it's a long, hard road, and I'm excited to get back in there and beat up on Askren.
Does it bother you that the Vegas odds have you as an underdog versus a guy who's never fought in the UFC, whereas you're a former champion in the UFC?
Well, I don't pay attention to the odds.
Other
than you telling me that, I don't really pay much attention to all the other stuff. Just focus on training every day, being with my family, making sure I'm becoming a better athlete. Basic stuff, staying within myself, and pretty boring, really, just eating food that's getting delivered to my house and grinding.
Fair enough. And Ben, obviously, if you continue your winning ways, it's going to put you on a collision course with your good friend and training partner, Tyron Woodley, although y'all said you wouldn't fight each other. So, I mean, what's the answer? A 165 division, perhaps?
Most likely, I think. But Tyron and I are fighting. That's already been well established. These guys, Anthony doesn't like them. I think they're pretty funny. They're kind of on point. Tyron and I aren't fighting each other. There's a lot of options, and frankly, there's a lot of people in the welterweight division that I want to fight, and I haven't fought any of them, right? So I got a long list. I could fight every other month for the next couple of years and fight a whole bunch of people I don't like. So, you know, there's no need for me and Tyron to fight each other. A lot of people don't understand that, because most people would stab their best friend in the back for $100. They don't understand what real friendship's like. And it's like, I don't covet this man's possessions. I don't covet any of my friends' possessions. That's bullshit. Okay? Exactly.
Thanks, Ben. And last question for Cody Garbrandt. Obviously, you had a couple devastating losses to your rival in TJ Dillashaw. Just tell us what the recovery has been like for you after, you know, those knockout losses, and what your training camp's been like in preparation for this fight. You got another tough guy in front of you.
Yeah, I feel great. You know, it's I've suffered defeats from TJ. You know, I was able to refocus myself, my mind, my body. I was able to heal up and get back out there. So I just back to the hard work. That's it. You know, being honest with myself. I got to watch my son grow up. He's 10 months now. So that was amazing to be able to watch that. It brought a lot of joy in my life. I'm healthier than ever. I'm, you know, excited to get out there and just, you know, this is my passion, is a fight. I'm excited to go out there March 2nd and deliver an awesome performance and climb my way back to the title shot and reclaim my throne.
Thank you.
Question for Jon, to your far left. It looks like you're going to be the biggest favorite you've been in your career for this fight. Usually when that happens, and especially if you roll through this, when you start hearing people saying, well, is there anyone left for this guy to fight? What's there left for him to do? Well, what's that like for you as a fighter? Is it frustrating, flattering? Just what do you make of that?
It's flattering, but at the end of the day, it's a very dangerous position to be in. When you are fighting a guy that no one expects to enough to stay at the drawing board, stay in practice, take your opponent extremely seriously. You know, the odds makers. You know, that's what they do. Fighting is what me and Anthony does. You know, and you know, I made a mistake the first time I fought Alexander Gustafsson. You know, I watched his footage, and I just felt there was just nothing in his game that showed me that he would be the guy to beat me, and he almost beat me because of that attitude. So. I take Anthony Smith extremely serious. He has 40 fights. He has double the experience I have. And we're going to treat him like that type of person, despite how other people feel about him. He'll get my undivided full attention.
And one question for Dana. Dana, we got from Ben kind of what it's like for him to be up there. What about for you? What's it like? It seems like you're cracking a smile.